Hey people, Tuesday, 14th of November. Cheers. What's going on? Folks, many of you I wish I could meet. You make comments and I appreciate them. Sometimes I I wish I had a better context for the person by having met them. Let me just say that, okay? Sometimes comments, it's like, okay. Like, for example, I'll go ahead and talk about what I'm talking about. For example, yesterday I shared about a friend from Lincoln who asked me about, yeah, he's depressed. He has depression. I already know that. We both already are open about that. My position is that when people are, that I know, regardless of the source of the depression, I'm aware of the different sources, but I'm also aware, because of personal experience as well as professional experience, that cognitive approaches to depression can be helpful. It's not the idea that that something's wrong. That's not what I mean. But the idea of you using positive coping skills other than looking to get medicated. That's what I share with people that I know who, like me, deal with depression. We all deal with depression, but some of us have diagnosable. Okay, and my friend already know is in that state. So what I said to him, and then we conversed later in the day, and he was thankful to talk to someone who understood. Just flow through it. You'll have those days of. I remember the early days of depression setting in my late teens and early 20s before I knew what was going on, and would just really be frustrated with, I don't know why I feel this way. Nothing's wrong. What's wrong? Looking for what's wrong. Nothing's wrong. It's a state of it's the state of the body. Electrical imbalance, chemical imbalance, response to the weather. So, so I just wanted to say that. I mean, no harm. I'm one of those people who doesn't particularly care for unasked, uninvited advice. Interaction is one thing. Hope I made myself understood. Man, that coffee's good. So yesterday I received an unexpected package of records. These things blow me away, people, for several reasons. One reason is, of course, I can't know about everything, but I'm always blown away at record labels and people who are doing stuff that, to me, strikes me as quality. And it's like, I've never heard of them. How are they making the return on their money? How do they do this? Here's a poster. I received a package of records from Roman numeral records. Never heard of them. The letter that accompanied it, the name on it was, oh, well, this guy's bought some of my records. Paul Pavlovich. And I was getting his name mixed up with Leonardo, the guy who runs Moon June. And there's another drummer on FPE who has a similar last name. I was getting those people, mixed up, thinking they're the same person or they're related. They're not. Paul wrote a really lovely letter and sent me several of his releases. I'll show them and I'll speak what I can. I just got them, so I just have initial impressions. But these posters came with the records. I love a good art aesthetic, and this art reminds me right away of 4 AD or something of that ilk. That poster does anyway. Let me show you some of the records, okay? And then let me show you some music I played. I heard from Everett. He's back down in Ecuador. He saw the video where I talked about the the Joe Zawinul album. He had completely forgotten about that album. Music is a time keeper. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. I see the images in my mind. Music is so important. That's really what I'm trying to say. So I had never heard of Roman numeral records. He sent me 7 of their releases. My initial impression is I really like this. I wouldn't mind having something on this label myself. So here is Split by Nadja and Disrotted. Nadja and Disrotted. This is interesting because it's a mixture of all the records have inserts, nice quality inserts. Is this black vinyl? No, it's not. Look at that. These gifts blow me away. The packaging on this is ideal. Okay, so this has come loose, but the inner sleeves are polylined properly, not just on paper. I didn't listen to everything. I touched base on all these records last night just to see. And it's like, wow, this is some pretty good stuff. This one I listened to all the way, one side all the way through. Benjamin Finger, never heard of him. Beyond. I liked this. Quiet and moody. I'm gonna try not to use the word ambient. Here's another one. I listened to a whole side of this because it's like, wow, this is really good. I think he's from Norway, European for sure. Ojerum, Through the Archway of Mouths. And this one comes with a big booklet. It's like, how do people afford to do this? I'd love to get on this label. I've already heard from him, and his schedule is full. I couldn't even get on for next year, but I'm impressed with the quality of the pressings, the artwork. Most of them are on color vinyl, and these aren't 180 gram, but they're really quiet pressings. This is good. It's as I keep saying, I can't know about all music, and the world is full of music, but it's amazing how much music there is out there and how many people are making music, and you never hear about it. Here's another one by Benjamin Finger and James Plotkin. Now, I have heard of the name James Plotkin. I haven't looked him up to see why the name is familiar to me. It might be someone else, but the name is familiar. I played some of this. This is ambient. This is good. We Carry the Curse. As I said, they all have these really nice heavy card, heavy paper inserts. I'm so appreciative of stuff like this and so thankful. Thank you. When I started reviewing records in the 80s and 90s for magazines, that was part of what I wanted, which was, I love records. I love receiving records. I like promos. So this is like a dream come true, partially doing my channel here where people have endeavored to send me music to review, labels. These two I haven't played, but I'll show. Well, no, I did. Deep Cross and two by the band Deep Cross. So this is interesting because this is kind of doomy, kind of sludgy, and that's a rather interesting juxtaposition to the ambient stuff, but they're both on the label. And this is really cool. It's like, man, this is just beautiful. This is another one by Oje Rum, or however you say his name. Love this cover. Love that artwork. Coiled Souls. And I liked what I heard of this. And this was, again, has a big, fat, heavy book of artwork. I mean, this stuff ain't cheap. I'll go ahead and tell you, I contacted Paul and to thank him for the records, but also to say, was she interested in maybe putting out something by me? Look at that. That's beautiful. I've heard him back from him, and he said that would interest him, but he's already booked through 2024. See what I was telling you about me putting out another vinyl record with FPE? Looks like it's going to be the same with most anybody else. He's interested, but nothing can happen in 2024. He's booked solid. So I guess I'll just keep looking at possibly my next physical releases being compact discs. We'll see. I have a couple licensing deals for songs that are going to appear on vinyl releases next year. But that's all I'm going to tell you because I don't really have the details yet. But 2 different projects will be released probably late next year on vinyl that will include at least one song of mine. And I'm appreciative of those deals because licensing is something that's sort of new to me. But since I've incorporated, I've studied up, so I know what I'm doing. And I appreciate these opportunities. It is money, not a lot, but it's money, and I need the money. Okay, so what else is going on here? Well, I'll go in this direction. Played a couple of records yesterday, all the way through. Just love them. John McLaughlin is one of my top guitarists of all time. I've never met him, but I've corresponded with him by email. He responded. He's really down to earth. Seen him in concert twice. I love him. I love him as a person too. He's so healthy, so real. This is a fantastic album. With Katia and Maria Lebec. I saw him in concert with them, as well as Mahavishnu Orchestra, second version. Beautiful album. This is just gorgeous. I had talked about the Chambers Brothers, where they had come up in conversation with Orlando in that Black History interview. And so I said to myself, make a note, I haven't listened to them in a long time. So I pulled this and listened to all of the studio side. Love, Peace, and Happiness. I love that people, when I posted this on Facebook, some folks shared, my dude Blake, who's on the Muse, plays trumpet. He's played with one of the Chambers Brothers. I think he told me that, but what an honor. And then Michael P. Dawson shared a picture of himself with one of the Chambers Brothers. These guys were pioneers of psychedelic rock. Time Has Come Today. I have that album. It's one of the early examples of extended freak-out sounding stuff. Psychedelic, and they even use the word psychedelicize. They were on the scene. They were heavy on the scene and very influential. I have to say, again, they are an example of the unfair double standard regarding everything in race. We know all about, we still hear about bands from this era, like Jefferson Airplane, and you just name it. These guys were in the same pantheon. as them and at the forefront of all this. And do we hear about these black brothers with the white drummer? No, we don't. That's it's so unfair of the world to be so. It's just unfair. It sucks. Yesterday, I noted through social media that yesterday was the 45th anniversary of the release of Siouxsie and the Banshees' first album, The Scream. This is my original copy. I bought it in 1979 as soon as it dropped in America. I have their first single, Hong Kong Garden. I caught the vibe right away about Siouxsie, that she wasn't a musician, but she's got this. She knows what she likes, and she knows what the music needs. I want to say that I feel that she unfairly discounted the importance of the original rhythm section of Siouxsie and the Banshees. Those guys got dicked. They did, and I don't blame them for leaving the band, because Siouxsie was getting all the attention, but they were laying down the foundation for the sound. When she got budgy, so she did the right thing by getting another excellent drummer. But that's something that I've always noticed, that those two guys, they didn't get properly credited. They were very important in establishing how good of a band Siouxsie and the Banshees are. So yeah, love this. Saw them on the first Lollapalooza. They blew everyone away for me. From my experience, Siouxsie was majestic, and they commanded the stage. It's almost like I forgot everyone else. The first Lollapalooza, that's the one where I almost met Ice-T, but I was wrecked. Okay, so more on the Beatles, because I am a Beatle fan. Beatlemania really affected me. So this new song is having a real nice effect psychologically. It's like the Beatles still live in my heart. This is one of my favorite albums by the Beatles. This is one of those reissues, Rubber Soul. I haven't put it on yet, but this is out to get played today because it's just fantastic. I remember when it came out. I remember my sister Stephanie was somehow able to afford a copy, and boy, did we play this to death. It was a big change. Not just the picture, the music. You could tell the Beatles were moving on, maturing. So this box here, I pulled it out of the closet because this is one of my. I got records everywhere, and this is a box of stuff. And this box has my Beatles singles. I don't have a lot, but I pulled it because I wanted to put my Now and Then away, my copies. And then while I was doing that, I got these three. I still hope to get a black vinyl. I don't need it, but if I can get a black vinyl 7-inch, I want one. I just want one. Like people who buy $100,000 cars. What do you need that for? You don't. But if you can afford it and you want it, you want it and you get it. So that's how that is for me. I didn't buy Free as a Bird. I wish I had, but I did get Real Love, produced by the guy from ELO. I don't mind his production so much. I really don't. I showed the Jeff Lynne. I posted this in some groups. It's really interesting to me how some people, the first thing they want to do is gripe and complain as though that's going to do any good, or like they're some kind of expert. Who the fuck cares that you don't like it and you're grousing and grumping? You're not the fucking Beatles. That's how I feel about that stuff. When I put this on, I wasn't sure it was at the right speed. Turns out because of the production. So I do see what some people were saying about Jeff Lynne's production on this. I wouldn't mind hearing. I could probably find the demo of this online, so let me just be quiet. I'm not going to look it up, but maybe I will, to hear the difference without all of his crap on it. But it's a good song. I just love the Beatles, and it's been kind of fun to reconnect with the magic. There is a magicness, the magical quality to the Beatles and their music. For some people, like me. A couple more things in the boxes. I have Hard Day's Night. I've got two of these because they're different, slightly different. One is UK, and one is Australian. The Australian was sent to me out of the blue. Again, I wasn't. Hello Goodbye on single. Backed with I Am the Walrus. I got lucky. I've shown these in the past. I've been on so long that, if you watch me all these years, you've seen these before, but many people have never seen these, so I'll show them again. Years ago, I got lucky and was able to purchase some jukebox singles. And here's one. All You Need Is Love on pink vinyl by the Beatles. With the jukebox label. This is the collectible stuff where it's like, I know I don't play these really, but like toys or like other things that you collect, they're fun. And like I'm showing you now, this is the fun, is to kind of just show them and look at them. They're cool. They're cool. I've only seen Paul McCartney live. I never got to see the Beatles, and he's the only Beatle I ever got to see. Ain't She Sweet? With Nobody's Child on the B-side. With Tony Sheridan. Yeah. I love the Beatles. I'll just show a couple more. Obla Di, Obla Da. Beatles for Sale EP number 2. I like that format. And then an original of Love Me Do on the Tolly label. And Twist and Shout came out on this label. When the Beatles first happened in America, people were missing the boat. And that's why in the first days, so many small labels and multiple labels released their records, because the big labels were missing the boat at first, thinking, oh, this is just some junk. This ain't nothing. And so these other little labels picked up on it and got these records out. Like the Swan label that had Freddie Cannon hits. They put out She Loves You, Swan. I got Pink Floyd in this box. I got Sakamoto in this box. Julian Cope. Catherine Wheel. This is my my box of stuff. There's a Sakamoto picture disc, Stepping into Asia. Still missing him. Still feeling the loss of Sakamoto. Here's a Pink Floyd single, From the Wall. When the Tigers Broke Free. I got all kinds of shit. It's fun. Okay, my nephew Kareem starts his new job today, so whenever you see this video, if at the end of your day or if you happen to watch it on your lunch break, man, I hope this goes well, Kareem. You really, we all need for this job to work out for you. Okay, everyone, take care and have a good day.